Double check. He is now and always will be Stash. We are joined by the man who has had that jersey, number 21, retired, Stan Mikita. A very emotional ceremony. Your thoughts about what transpired tonight for Denis Savard and his family?
Chet, these things are always emotional. I know when I went through it. I know when Tony went through it, Bobby and Glenn. You know, I'm surprised he held up as well as he did. You try not to forget anybody to thank that you want to thank, and I think he ran the gamut, but I'm sure he's going to say later on, geez, I forgot so-and-so.
You joined this league roughly 40 years ago. How many centers have been any better than, roughly 40, give or take a week? How many centers any better than Denis Savard?
I haven't seen too many. There's some guy named Gretzky maybe, and maybe a guy named Lemieux, but other than that, I can't think of too many. He was quite a player.
I got the impression the only thing that would have made you happier down there tonight would have been if you could have taken out your driver.
No, 9-iron would have been better.
Stan Mikita, stay with us right here as we continue with Blackhawk hockey.
Well, there were lots of illustrious folks on hand tonight for Savoie Fair Night. One of them, an ex-teammate of Savvy's, Douglas Wilson, now involved with the San Jose Sharks. But it was a great evening, wasn't it? It was unbelievable. I know to see some of the other guys come back, but to honor somebody like Denis, it's his name and his banner belongs to the top of this building. Well, Sam, what do you remember most about when you first met Savvy? You guys really formed a strong friendship that goes on to this day. How did you hit it off so well so early? Well, he had that little twinkle in his eye. I mean, he just loved life. He loved people, and his hockey record speaks for itself. But the one thing that's special about him is he's never changed. You know how he treats people. He's one of the finest people I've ever met in my life. Boy, Willie, you know, when you were playing the game, it was fairly common for the upper teams in the NHL on a power play to be up around 25%, maybe even better. Now it's a big deal if a team even gets to 20%. Why is that? Well, I'm not quite sure the exact reason. There's the coaching, the videotapes they go through in penalty killing, possibly the size of the players now on the same type of ice surface. The penalty killers get there quicker, the players are bigger, and it takes the lanes away. Well, the Blackhawks and the Canadiens are scoreless. Back in a moment. This is Chicago Blackhawk hockey. This special commemoration with face-off is $45.
So, Willie, now you're working for the Sharks. Exactly what is your position with the club?
My job is I'm director of pro development, and I've been involved in all aspects of it. You know, assessing the players that we have on our present team and decisions that we need to make in the future to take our team from being a young lower echelon team up to one of the top teams. And I've really enjoyed it. How many guys, let me ask you about Savvy a little bit. How many guys in your life have you ever come across with the approach to life and the attitude that Denis Savard has? Other than you two beside me? No, he just, the thing is about him, you love being around him, and he treats people no matter whether they're a CEO or a young boy on the street. He has just got that knack of making people feel good about themselves. He really is such an uplifting guy, and this ceremony tonight couldn't have happened to a better guy, and I thought he really handled himself wonderfully. Well, he's become a man. He came here as a young boy from Montreal, and he spoke so eloquently, and I miss him because he's the only guy I can beat on the golf course between our group.
Probably the most exciting player ever played in the NHL. Probably the most exciting player ever played in Chicago Stadium. I mean, the thing he can do on the ice one-on-one was unbelievable. What they do tonight is unbelievable. To you, Denis, to retire your jersey. It's your jersey because that was your team. Congratulations and all the best for the future.
He is nothing if not a stand-up fighter. Yes, he has his detractors. He will acknowledge his detractors, but he is a man who is steadfast. When you discuss his principles, we are joined by the president of the Chicago Blackhawks, William Wirtz. Bill, earlier tonight I had the opportunity to sit down at length with Denis Savard. I posed this hypothetical question. You're inducted tomorrow morning into the Hockey Hall of Fame. Who would you want as your presenter? Without hesitation, number 18 tells me I would want Bill Wirtz. On this special night, what does that mean to you?
Well, number one, I'm speechless because I cried on the ice ceremonies, and I'm having a tear well up in my mind. But anyway, hockey's given me every honor. I'm in a Hall of Fame, U.S. Hall of Fame, Lester Patrick for doing, but that would be my greatest honor for Denis Savard asking me to do it, because I said earlier, you know, that in Team U.S., you know, hockey players are, you know, like, I'd be proud to be their fathers. I'd be proud to be Denis's father. and my sons will be proud to be, you know, and that's the kind he is. There's no one better. And what he has done for the Blackhawks, I mean, the rebirth and what he has done, you know, for hockey, it'd be the greatest honor I've had in hockey.
Bill, very quickly in the time we have remaining, wouldn't it be almost sufficient to say that Denis Savard has almost been like a son to a William Wirtz?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, in 1980, when we brought him in, I mean, we just finished the war between the World Hockey Association and the National Hockey League, and I mean, everybody was broke, everything, and we had to rebuild. And it was Denis coming here and with his magnetism that brought us back.
Bill Wirtz, we appreciate it. Congratulations on a marvelous night. When we come back, the Crease Monkeys join us right here on Fox Sports Chicago.
Thank you, Chet. We're here with the most important line mates Denis Savard ever had, daughter Tanya and wife Mona.
And tonight's night was all about paying honor to Denis Savard, the player, but now he is Savvy, the coach. Mona, tell us what it's like being married to Savvy, the coach now, and not Savvy, the player. Is it different?
Well, to be honest with you, there's not much difference because he's on the road as much as he was before as a hockey player.
Mona, of all the penalties that there are in hockey, which penalty best describes being married to Denis Savard?
I can think right now. I don't know. I would say tripping.
Tripping?
Tripping. Hey, you got to
stay out of the kitchen.
Whatever you got to do.
Yeah,
that's
stay
my
out of the kitchen
motto.
around Denny.
Now we're here with Tanya. Tanya, you're a little girl in a hockey family. Now my guess is that you followed the success of the women's hockey team, and I don't mean the Red Wings. Do you play hockey?
No, I do not play hockey.
You don't?
No.
I see, but now your dad is a coach, so he gets to tell people what to do while he's at work. What do you coach your dad in when he's at home?
Well, usually well, not many things. I don't really know, actually.
Not many things. Do you help him dress, tell him what tie to wear?
Well, sometimes I do.
Great job tonight raising the banner. Normally I don't see a 10-year-old working that hard unless Kathy Lee Gifford's involved. Mona, my favorite memory of Denis Savard, the player, is the goal against Edmonton. He didn't do the spinorama, but he went through like the entire Edmonton team. Do you have a favorite memory of Denis Savard, the hockey player?
That's one of my best memories.
That's great, wasn't
this
it?
one when he scored against those 5 players and played around them, and the game against Minnesota after I delivered the baby.
Another great spinorama.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you very much, Tanya and Mona Savard. We'll be right back. Murray's going to be back with highlights. Please join us next month when we retire the jersey number of Ken Yaremchuk.
Thanks a lot, Mona.
Back we are with the Savard brothers, Andre, Gilles, and Luc. I'm going to go right to the top. Which one of you cried the most during the pregame ceremony tonight?
Our wife, not us. I mean, we had a lot of sensation inside, but I mean, that was a great night.
In your wildest dreams, could you ever visualize a 5- or 6-year-old Denis Savard achieving the hockey greatness he's attained?
Well, I'll tell you something. Since this kid's been on skate, he knew where he was going. That was his main goal, and he did it all. He did it all, and we're very, very proud of him.
What impressed you most about the ceremony?
Well, the ceremony is, I guess, the whole thing, but especially when you talk about our parents, that reminds us that they're not around anymore, and that was tough.
Gentlemen, congratulations to all of you. The brothers of Denis Savard, number 18, has the jersey retired here at the United Center tonight.
Well, a lot of Blackhawk luminaries on hand for a Savoie Fair night, and one of them is a guy who combined with savvy to really provide a lot of thrills. Steve Larmer, Grandpa. Whatever happened to Steve Larmer? Where are you? What are you doing? Other than eating.
Oh, I'm living with the Eskimos right now.
Yeah, I better lean back. You know, wide angle for both of us, right, Charm?
Yeah. I was going to say, someone's lost some weight here, but
been
it's
very good to us.
Face off here in the Canadian zone. Well, Steve Larmer was one of the greatest penalty killers the Hawks ever had, in addition to the great offense that he provided. Why is penalty killing in the NHL so good now?
Goaltending is so good, I guess. I don't know. I think for the most part, all the teams in the league now kill penalties aggressively, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons. And teams on the power play don't have the time that they used to have before. I think back when I first started playing, the teams were a little less or a little bit more passive killing penalties.
Not only that, there aren't any surprises anymore now in this age of all the video. And remember when you first started with Savvy, you'd go stand at the far face-off dot, he'd be on the near board, and that pinpoint pass for your one-timer, that lasted a long time till other teams started figuring out with all the video.
Yeah, but I had to keep my stick on the ice.
The meeting between the big three, 18, 20, and 28. Less than 4 minutes left in the period. Savard intercepts. He's got Larmer in front. Larmer there. Wait, shoots, and scores. Oh, what a play by Savard. Savard the Secor. The Hawks can do no wrong. Savard shoots and scores. Make it 4-2. And the celebration really hits stride here at Chicago Stadium. Wow. Beaupre, just an incredible save, recovery. Now Savard fakes it and scores, and that'll do it. That should do it. 6-3 Blackhawks.
Well, Steve, that was a great line. You had all the ability to score and pass and play defense. Savvy, brilliant playmaker, and he had the toughness and scoring ability on the other side. One of the great lines in hockey.
Well, thanks. We had a good combination of all three, and we all knew what our roles were, and we were good communicators, and we all got along well, which was really important.
How immediate was the connection that you and Savvy made? Nobody thought you were going to even be on the team that first year. Orville Tessier had coached you the year before, gave you a chance to make the club, played you with Savard, and it seemed to be an immediate combination.
Well, it was a great opportunity for a kid like myself coming in and playing with two great players like that. And I remember Orville saying to me, he says, you know, those two got a green light to go, and I want you to make sure that you concentrate a little bit more in defense and kind of stay back. And it was great playing with those guys because I could always be the third guy coming in late.
That's the most dangerous guy, especially us chubby guys.
Well, especially with a guy like Denis that could handle the puck as well as he could, because he would attract 2 or 3 guys at him.
And I've heard you talk about it before, Larms. You know, with a guy like that, all you got to do is try to find some open ice, keep your stick on the ice. You're going to have the puck on your stick flat.
Absolutely. I mean, he had great vision, and he could see things before they happened, and all it was just finding some open ice, keeping your stick on the ice, and he would get the puck to you.
How about the season these guys put together in 82 and 83? Steve Larmer scored 43 goals. Al Secord scored 54. Denis Savard scored 35. 132 goals for that line in a single season.
You guys that good?
Everybody else was that bad.
You guys were great.
Oh, boy, it was so fun to watch, too, I'll tell you. Absolute magic.
It was a lot of fun playing in that time, too.